Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here tonight with another requested reading, and this request is going to be for Joe Alwyn. Is that how you say his name? It is Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend. So I did get a comment, and I will read it. So basically, it was asking if I could read him just to see kind of where he's feeling, with everything going on with Taylor and Travis and whatnot. And also, you had a couple questions if there was any references in the song from Taylor to Joe. And you were also wondering if Taylor purposely did this to try to get a reaction out of him. And then also, you wanted to know if Taylor has an insider feeding her information on Joe's schedule, having a song called The Fate of Ophelia when he is about to premiere Hamlet. So I thought that was very interesting. So we will take a look. So for those other questions, I am going to use my Angel Answers Oracle deck for that, just to kind of get a yes, no. It's easier for me to read that way. I know not everybody reads that way, but this is just how I do it. It's just easier for me. But what we'll do first is we'll do the tarot. So I have everything all shuffled out here. So let me get everything laid out. And remember, as always, if you have any other requests you'd like to see from me, please feel free to drop a comment below, and I will get that on the list and get it out for you as soon as I can. It probably will be a couple weeks, give or take, so just be patient with me, and I appreciate you. Also, if you're interested in your own private reading with me, I do offer those just for $5 to my Venmo or PayPal right now. I do tarot readings, oracle readings, messages from deceased loved ones, also 25 yes-no questions with the pendulum if it's something you're interested in. I've read over a dozen of my subscribers. I've gotten some pretty accurate feedback. So, yes. If you are not interested in that, that's perfectly fine. Just liking, commenting, and subscribing to my YouTube channel is enough support for me, and I thank you with infinite gratitude. So, yes, let me finish getting these laid out, and we'll see what's going on with Joe right now. I did end up watching Aphrodite's reading on Taylor and Travis. I had gotten a comment from somebody else about how my reading and his reading kind of had sort of the similar energy, not 100%, but a little bit of the same thing. And I almost kind of feel like Aphrodite kind of feels the same way I do about Taylor and Travis. I know a lot of people can't see it. I will say I feel like so many people are just caught up in these celebrities and they think everything is just a picture perfect fairy tale. And I've got bad news for you. Okay, that's not how it is. But we'll see what happens, just like Aphrodite said, if they get married and have a bunch of children, live happily ever after, good for them. But deep down, it still feels weird to me. Obviously, he finds it a little bit suspicious too, so I thought that was very interesting. So I just had to put that out there. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. And he did mention too, Aphrodite did mention about something about Taylor's ex. So, and I'm going to assume it's probably Joe. I know they were together for 6 years. So, yeah. Anyways, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get into this. So let's see kind of how he's feeling. And of course, if Taylor's energy wants to come on in here, we are perfectly open for that. So give me a second here. Let me see. Let's start off with one. See if we can figure out exactly where he is energetically. Give me a second. Seen a couple I want to pull, but I gotta pick just one. I think I'm gonna go with this one first. Okay, so the first one, Ten of Swords. It's tough. It's really tough, I feel. I'll tell you what, I feel this. Maybe you guys feel it too, I'm not sure, but there's still emotions. And honestly, I feel like it could even be with both of them, with both Joe and Taylor. Maybe just buried deep emotions, and then we see the deep wounds here. We see the exhaustion, the betrayal, the collapsing of something, the bitterness as well. I don't think he feels too good about this. I really don't. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of an idea. Let's do 2 more with that, and then we'll just kind of jump in. But yeah, I am kind of feeling it may bother him a little bit. I could definitely feel that for sure. Page of Wands. A little bit better, not too bad. So this is about someone, fresh ideas, and opening their eyes to something. So to me, it's just like youthful and energetic energy. And also growth as well. Let's do another one. How else is he feeling, like in his headspace? Okay, let's do this one. Well, maybe he's getting over things too, and that's good. You know, I want nothing more than that. So gaining clarity, recovering, letting go of deep-rooted fears, letting go of anxiety. But even though he is feeling that right now, I feel like in some ways he'll be able to get over that as well. Because what can you really do? You know? What can you really do? Okay. There's another one. It's like recovery, you know, recovery energy. And also with this one that we just had too, it's like getting over something. With this 5 of Pentacles in reverse here, you know, it's about overcoming and forgiving. I mean, I feel like in some ways it's kind of bothersome, but at the same time, I feel like he's strong enough to kind of realize, like, okay, you know, it is what it is. Like, what am I going to do? You know? What am I going to do about it? But like I said, I definitely feel like there's still emotions. Almost said motions. Emotions. I can definitely sense that. And I do feel like it's with both of them. I'm not saying that, like, they're secretly in love with each other still or anything. I don't know what it is, but there's feelings. You know, there's definitely feelings. I can feel that for sure. Will they ever go anywhere? Probably not, you know? Honestly, probably not. But they're there. They're definitely there. Yeah, walking away. The 8 of Cups walking away. I just feel like in his mind, he just... I do feel like it's hard for him. You know what I mean? Especially the way Taylor and Travis's relationship is. It is very plastered. Luckily, I'm not seeing as much of it now, but I'll tell you what, like a year, maybe a year and a half ago, that's all I saw. Like, I would even get on my social media, like my Facebook and, you know, stuff like that, and that's all I see is Taylor, Travis, Taylor, Travis, Taylor, Travis. I mean, all sorts of crap. Like, it's everywhere. All over covers of magazines. Like, they just... It's absolutely crazy, you know, and I do feel in some aspects that, yes, that absolutely bothered him, you know, absolutely. And in a way, he almost just wants to, like, get away from it all. Like, he's tired of it. He's tired of seeing it. He's tired of hearing about it. Like, he just wants to be done with it and just let it go, you know, because it was such a deeply... You know, I feel like at one point, you know, I know they ended up obviously separating, but I feel like at one point there was a connection there. I know it kind of faded away. I know a lot of it, like the breakup, they talked about how it was just like a different path. You know, Taylor's fame was too much for him and stuff like that, which I totally get. But at one point, you know, they were very, very tight-knitted. They were very in love, very close. And it's hard, you know, it's hard with any relationship. You know, it sucks. It really sucks. But I feel like he just, like, he doesn't want to hear about it anymore. He doesn't want to, he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. He wants to move on. You know, and honestly, it's probably the best thing for him. And, you know, with this other energy here, I feel like he is working on recovering from that and getting over that because it was such a big deal. It was such a big thing. And it was painful, you know, it was very painful. Yeah, so here we have the Four of Wands in reverse, and this is, you know, it could be problems within the family and some sort of imbalance as well. Yeah, so with this, it's like a disconnection, you know. I am also feeling too, like intuitively, I don't know if he's seeing anybody right now, if Joe's seeing anybody new. I almost kind of feel like no. Y'all let me know if you know. I don't have time to Google it right at the moment. I will try to look it up later. But I almost feel like possibly not. I think there's like this... Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm not very good at explaining myself sometimes. I'm trying to work on that. But like there's still like oh my God, I can't talk. Emotional turmoil, you know, from the past. And, you know, also with this Four of Wands in reverse, you know, the insecurity. Yeah, it's like an insecurity. Like, do I even want to do this again? Like, do I even want to do this again? That's what I feel with it. That's what I feel. All right. All right, let's see what else we got with how he's feeling with everything. So with this Ace of Swords with him, I feel like it's new perspectives, you know, new plans, thinking for the future, new opportunities. Maybe not a lot of emotions with this card, but logical, you know what I mean? So, all right. Let's do some more. Long-term success, Seven of Pentacles. I do get this a lot in my celebrity readings. I know, obviously, he's not a huge celebrity. Nothing compared to Taylor, obviously. One of the reasons, apparently, why they split, you know. Just the fame with Taylor was just too much. But within his life and his career and the things that he's doing, it's successful. You know, he is gaining momentum. He is very successful and works very hard at what he does. So, that's what I read that as. Yeah, there's definitely, with the Five of Cups here, there's definitely that loss feeling, that disappointment. I mean, it's definitely there, you know. I'm sure he's one of those men who maybe can hide that shit pretty well. I know sometimes men can really hide their emotions, but like I said in the beginning of this video, I do think it is hard for him and it does bother him a little bit. I know it would me. You know what I mean? I would be a little upset if I was seeing that all the time. Because, yeah, like you said, it can't be easy having that thrown in his face. And it's not. I don't think it is easy for him, actually. I think it's really difficult. He might not show it, you know, but deep down, it's in there. And it just sucks overall, you know. So this Three of Pentacles is about, you know, collabing and working together. And obviously with his, what is he working on? Movie or play or something? Hamlet. Yeah, you know, it's just him pooling his experience together, you know, with a larger group of people to accomplish shared goals, you know, and that's what he's doing. You know, his career is definitely coming in here too. I know this is more of like a feeling-based thing, but that's coming into, you know, with his career and whatnot. All right, let's do a couple more of these, and then we'll do those yes/no questions with the other part that you had asked. I'm looking. Sometimes it takes me a minute. What do I want? What do I want? Let's do this one. You know, it's interesting because in the beginning of the video, I talked about, like, the emotional stuff, you know, and here it is with this King of Cups. Not that I think he's an untrustworthy man. I mean, maybe he is. I feel like he's probably a little less cocky than Travis. I'm sorry. I can tell Travis is a very cocky, kind of just big ego. I can just tell, and that came up in the reading I did between those two. He's got a temper, too. I feel like with Joe, he might be a little more kind of laid back and chill. But with this, it's the emotions. Like, I'm telling you, the emotions. Like, there's still emotion there. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what I was explaining earlier. It's definitely there. And it's hard. But hopefully, you know, some of this other energy that came through with the recovering and, you know, letting go of that anxiety and whatnot, he will be able to, you know, move on from that and hopefully let go of all that emotional turbulence that he is feeling. Because trust me, it's there. We might not see it, but it's there. All right. Let's do this one. Yeah, the Lover's card. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that at that and take what you will with it. And let's do one more tarot for Joe. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, 4 of Cups. Yeah, it's tough. I hope that he can move on and, you know, find somebody who can fill his cup. You know, and just not be reminded of the past so much, because he definitely is. You know, it's out there. I mean, it's all freaking public. You know, you can't miss it. Like I said, I don't feel like it's as out there as it used to be, because like I said, a year ago, that's all I saw. I mean, I go in the grocery store, every single freaking magazine cover, Taylor Swift and Travis. I get on Facebook, every single freaking thing I scroll through, Taylor, Travis, Taylor, Travis, Taylor, Travis. It's like, oh my God, nobody cares, you know, but some people do. That's a lie, because some people do care. I personally don't. But, I mean, I love doing the celebrity readings. It's so fun. But at the same time, I don't know, I'm kind of in and out of it. You know what I mean? I like it, but then at the same time, it's like, dude, really? Come on. Like, there comes a point when I just think things get way too overhyped. You know what I mean? But when you are a big pop star like Taylor Swift, one of the biggest pop stars, especially now, you know, it's going to happen. You know, it's just a celebrity culture. But that's okay. But yeah, hopefully, you know, I hope he finds somebody that can fill his cup and he can move on, like, completely. I will have to see if he's dating anyone. I don't think so, but maybe y'all know. But anyways, we'll leave it at that for the tarot. So let me get these out of the way, and then I'll do those other questions. Like I said, I'm just going to do the yeses and nos because it's just easier for me to read that way. I know some people are very skilled and can do it with the tarot, and I mean, of course I could, because actually, as you see with my cards, you can get like the yeses and the nos. That's another reason why I like this deck, but I like my angel answer deck, and that's what I like to use, so that's what we're gonna do here. So get these out of the way. And then we have these. So I did end up just breaking down the yeses and nos. You know, this is a very big deck, but, you know, some of these just aren't going to give me the answer I want. So I just did the yeses and nos. So let me pull this back up here. So I'll just ask this one first. So you were curious if Joe had any thoughts on any song titles. And you had said the first song on her new album is a reference to Hamlet, and Joe's new film, Hamlet, will be premiering soon. and you wanted to know if Taylor did this on purpose to try to get a reaction out of him. So that's the first question. So let's just see. Okay, so what I'll do with these, because it's just, like I said, it's just easier for me to read this way. I will do 3 of these, and whichever one, let's say there's 2 no's and 1 yes. I'm going to go with the no. That's just how I read, okay? I know some people might not care for it that way, but that's just how I do it, okay? I'm not like everybody else, so do not judge me for how I read. I'm a little bit different. You don't want to be like everybody else, honestly. So that's what I'll do. So with that question, did Taylor do this on purpose? Did she purposely try to do this with the whole song name to get a reaction out of Joe? Okay, so we got 1 here. Let me put that to the side right here. And then let's do 2 more. I'll just play with them in my hand to see if anything falls out. I don't know. I mean, I got 2 no's and 1 yes, so I mean, it is coincidental, but that's what I got, and let's try it again just to see, because this will be the true test. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes I like to play with them in my hands to see what'll come out, but let me just try it this way. I'll just lay them out. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Kind of wish there were 6 of those, because it'd make it even, but that's okay. So let's try it again and see if we get the same, okay? Because if we do, then we know for sure. Okay, I'm going to do this one, okay? I'm going to do this one. And then I'm torn between these 2. All right, which one is it going to be? I'm going to go with this one. Got the same ones again, guys. We got 2 no's and a yes. So I'm going to say no. Is it coincidental? A little bit. But I pulled the same ones twice, as you saw. So that's what we're getting with that. Okay. So I will have to say no with that. That's why I did it twice, too, just to make sure. And then the other one was if Taylor has an insider feeding her information on Joe's schedule. So let's do that one. I'll just lay them out again. Actually, let me mix these up just a little bit, even though there's not much to mix, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, so does Taylor have an insider giving her information on Joe's schedule? Or some sort of someone who might be keeping tabs on things. So let's see here. I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to go with this one. And then this one. So the same again. We have 2 no's and a yes. And we'll mess around one more time just to see if we get the same one, so we know for sure. So let's do it one more time. It's a good way for me to tell, too, like if I do it twice and I get the same ones, and I know, like, yep, that's, gotta take it as confirmation, you know? So let's do this one more time and see if we get the same, just for funsies. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. Put this one up here. Let me see. I'm this one. Okay, you got me now. See, now it's different. Now it's 2 yeses and a no. 2 yeses and a no. I guess 3rd time's the charm. Okay. So we'll do it one more time. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I guess it's kind of fun. But let's do it one more time to see. And whichever one comes up next, if we had 2 of the same, that's one we're going to go with. Okay, so what do we got, Spirit? Let's do this one more time. Is someone Taylor or someone on Taylor's team, like, in the know of what's going on with Joe, keeping tabs on things, so to speak? Let's do this one more time. One more time. Okay. Okay, 1, 2. I'm gonna move these right here, okay? And I think I'm just gonna go with the middle one. Okay, so I guess no. We got this one twice and the other one once, so I'm gonna say no. Like I said, though, it's very interesting, you know, the whole thing that you explained to me, and, you know, it does make you wonder, but I am getting a no for those for now, so that's what I have to go with. But nonetheless, it is very interesting with the whole name of the song and just the timing of everything. I mean, you can't really deny it, but I don't know, it's very interesting. Very interesting to say the least, but I will leave it at that for now. Hopefully this reading helped you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I thank you so much for being here. Again, if you guys have any other requests you'd like to see from me, any other topics, discussion, anything whatsoever, please feel free to comment below. I will get to it as soon as I can. So again, I thank you for your patience. I thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I thank you with infinite gratitude. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.